to another tank review. This time we are looking at the tier 7 Japanese medium tank, the Chiri. Now the Chiri, if you ask me, is a tank with a huge amounts of potential, but very hard to utilize them. This tank, as you can see, the armor is, well, nothing. At the hull, at most you have 75. These are even auto pen zones. The turret also pretty bad. This won't bounce anything. They are not at an auto bounce angle. The cupola is also weak. The only thing that can bounce is this gun mantlet. As you can see, it even gets up to 800, but that's, I mean, it's such a huge target, nobody will shoot this gun mantlet, if I'm honest. So this tank is big, slow, without armor. It's pretty bad, but there is one feature of this tank that makes it sort of okay, and that is the gun. Let's look into its details. As you can see, the penetration is pretty bad at 155. The damage is also bad at 130, but this thing is an autoloader. As you can see, it carries 3 shells in the magazine, and the magazine reload time is pretty okay. The time between the shells is 1 second, which results in very quick bursts of damage, up to 400 damage with if you manage to pen all of the shots. But the problem with it is that this penetration, apart from tier 7, is inadequate. In tier 8 and especially in tier 9, you are pretty much useless if you don't manage to shoot at softly armored vehicles. But let's look into the other stats as well. The view range 370, pretty okay for the tier. You can mount optics with it. Gamma values pretty bad since this thing is pretty huge, if I'm honest, if not the biggest tier 7 vehicle, including the tier 7 heavy tanks. The accuracy of the gun, not bad if I'm honest, 0.34, and the aim time is also pretty good at 1.7 seconds. The dispersion values also pretty good. The gun depression -10, which can be used to a great effect, but as I said, this thing is made out of paper and it has a huge hull, so you must use your gun depression at all costs. The power, pretty lacking if I'm honest, 550 horsepower, and a 13 horsepower per ton is pretty bad, as you can see here. This tank, for the armor it gets, should have been faster, a lot faster or something. I mean, this tank needs a buff if I'm honest. It's pretty bad, but it's manageable. The top speed also pretty poor at 42. The terrain resistances aren't helping this thing. I mean, if you look at my previous tank review, the E50 had great soft stats here. This tank doesn't, and it has a slow power to weight, so if I'm honest, this thing is even slower than the IS, which is a tier 7 heavy tank. The health is the only armor of this thing. I mean, you need to trade it efficiently, but even though it's best at the tier 7 mediums, it's not that great. I mean, you are still 3-shot for most of the tanks in the tier. That's about the gun. as we previously saw, this thing is made out of paper and it's huge, so you are a primary target even if you are in a tier 9 game, because you are sort of a free damage, because whatever hits you it will pen. About the equipment, I will go with vents, a gun armor, since this is the few outlaws in the game which can use a gun armor and it's a must, and a coded optics for improved view range. This tank gets set on fire but not that much, so you can use a premium consumable, but that is up to you as always. For the crew skills, since you will probably just try to skip this tank, you will only have 1 to 2 crew skills, so 6 cents on the commander and repairs on the other crewman. You can get safe storage if you can on the loader, but it's not a must. When I played this tank, it didn't get ammo so much. Also, another theory is that you can use this gun, which is the same gun but without the auto loader, but in this case it's a much worse combat, if I'm honest. I mean, it does have a better DPM and its reload time is pretty okay, as you can see, 3 seconds, but you are slower, you don't have camo, so, and you don't have any armor, so it is much I will recommend for you to use the autoloader, since with it this tank has its purpose, to say the least, but without it it's a much worse version of the other tanks. With that, I think it's time to get into the game, and here we are in the game. It's a standard battle on Oldenburg, as you can see, a tier 8 game. And the thing about Oldenburg is that you should always try to attack the side of your bridge, so that is what I'm doing right here. The position I'm gonna use is great for tanks with good gun depression, which the Cheery is. That position is good because there is no RT in this game, which is great news for the Cheery because it is made out of paper. My first clip, I will try to empty it in the T29, but without much luck. Some shots were down to the bad penetration, but they went all over the place, if I'm honest. I do have side shots on this KV4, and as you can see, that bent only 1 out of 3, and that is why I am loading a premium clip now. The second clip set him on fire, which is good since he didn't have a fire extinguisher. I will try to put shots on this SU, and know if they bent or not, we'll see later. I will empty my next clip into the lower plate of this VK because he is really exposed. Even though I managed to put all 3 shots into the side of the Tiger 1, that was still kinda bad because he did manage to pin me. Now somehow I bounced 2 shots on the SU, even though that thing doesn't have great frontal armor. I do pen only 1 of my 3 shots on that VK because it was at a really bad angle. Now, since I don't have any targets to shoot at, not even the TLC, the Tiger 1 appears, which I will happily shoot him, but only managed to pin him once. That SU shot was really lucky for me, because if he managed to shoot my tank, not my truck, he would have taken 700 health away from me. And that would be really bad for the Cherry, if I'm honest. Now I'm falling back a bit. I will try to help that T-25 too with the Tiger, but the Tiger is in cover, so I'm unable to do that. Now I will try to engage that Black Prince. I don't know why I'm still waiting for the Tiger. He is in cover and he won't come out of there for a long time. Now against this Black Prince you will see the bad penetration, if I'm honest. I mean, just look at this. One bounce, two, that was 3 bounces, and I took a hit, which was really bad for me. Now the Tiger 1 makes an appearance as well. He is presenting me his sides and rear, and I will happily kill him for that. Gas 3 takes out the Black Prince, which is really nice. I'm going back, since I don't want the SU-12244 to shoot me, and I will try to put shots in this Tiger too. That now I think that he is not in cover, but he still is, sadly. The T-37 spots an IS-3, but I will try to shoot at this Tiger 2 first, because my aim circle was over him. Now you can really see the bad penetration. I mean, a badly angled IS-3 presenting me his side of the frontal plate, which is unangled at that point, and I failed to pin him. A premium clip with 185 pin also manages to do absolutely nothing to him, and for that I will take a shot there. It was a big shot, but luckily I also managed to pen all of my 3 shots. Now I will try to fall back, because I don't want to engage an IS-3, and I do want to lure him into our IS-3. The Type 59 could have stuck with us, but he decided to split up. I don't know why. I think he was the reason we lost the game. If he was with me here and using his turret and reasonably good gun depression, he might have won the game, but he decided to throw his tank, and I drove alone into 3 enemies. My plan did work here. I did manage to put the enemy IS-3 in front of our IS-3, and he gets taken out for that. Even though it's only 12-13, the enemy team has 3 tier 8s and we are a tier 7 and a tier 8, which means that it is highly unlikely that we will be able to win this match, if I'm honest. I did set to my IS-3 to fall back to my position, but he won't be able to. He will get caught out, which will be really unfortunate, and that is the reason why the Tiger from the middle decided to move up. Now I will try to put side shots in, but I proxy spotted the T-44. I do manage to put 3 shots in, and for some reason he decides to run me. That was absolutely no reason for that. He would have been able to reload before me, which was gonna take me out, but and that's that. I am lucky, I can't deny that, but also here I managed to bounce 2 shots on the Tiger 2 side. Now the situation looks bad, and there is only one thing that could happen really. A one-shot Shiri against two half health tier 8 heavies, and that's the only thing that could happen really. Here the post-game results of that defeat. That was a pretty hard game for me, a hard defeat. As you can see, Ace Tanker on a defeat is pretty good, if I'm honest. I got some tokens, a high caliber, and a kamikaze for that ram on the T44. As we look into the team score, we can see that we did finish on top on XP with 140 with 455 base experience. That is combined with the battle hero achievements, 4.1k damage, so that those blind shots on the SU did manage to hit, and 3 kills. In that game I did fire 54 shots, 46 of them hit, and only 27 managed to penetrate, which shows the lackluster penetration of the gun. From that 4.1k, 2.1 were from a distance of more than 300 meters. I did receive 6 hits and 5 pen, that one bounce on the SU, which was really lucky. I spotted 2 vehicles, damaged 9 and destroyed 3, and 616 damage upon detecting. The detailed results show that the premium ammo is very expensive for this tank, which made me lose quite a bit of money, and since I don't run with a premium account, that was that. Also guys, I want to know what are your opinions of that game. Have I done something differently in that game, so maybe I could have won it? Have I made some mistakes? Because I want your honest opinion as well. Also, at the very end, I would like to give a big shout out to the guys from WM Meter. They are good friends of mine, and they made this great page. It can be used for tracking your latest stats. As you can see, it has for 24 hours, 7 days, 30 days, and overall, with a graph for all of the values from win ratio, W87, and W8 with efficiency as well. They also have a Android app for this and an Apple app for this, and links for the website and the Google Play page will be in the description below. And that was it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and bye for now.